Hey guys, Ben Nash from Pivot Wealth here, and today I'm talking all about the financial questions that you need to ask yourself and probably your partner as well when you're planning on having children. So what I found is that people can be confused when we help a lot of people plan around having children as part of their overall financial plans, and having done this with dozens of people, we're pretty clear on the key things that we need to know. But often when going into this process, the people that we ask, they don't really know what it is that they should be thinking about. So the key things that you need to understand is, first question is, how many kids would you like to have? In a perfect world, what sort of number are you talking about? For some people, they might want more. Clearly, it can be a little expensive, especially in Australia's major cities. So that's a consideration as well. But think firstly, perfect world, how many kids do you want to have? Then ask yourself, what does that look like from an employment, like from a workplace perspective? So how much time do you want to have off work? What does the maternity leave plan look like in your company? And what's going to happen, mum, dad, or the carers for these children? What is what does a time out of the workforce look like, and what is your return to the workforce plan? So if you're planning on returning on part-time, is it 4 days a week, is it 3 days a week, or what does that look like? What does that also mean? Because what does that mean for your savings? So taking time out of the workforce is a really expensive exercise. When we go putting gaps in people's income as part of the financial models that we build, you can see that it does have a pretty substantial impact. So understanding what that is, firstly, and in an ideal world, what you'd want to happen is a super critical part of that planning process. Then, and sort of related to this, is understanding, what does the childcare situation look like? Childcare is one of the biggest expenses for a lot of my clients. It's more expensive in a lot of cases than even the best private schools. So, that's something that you need to be factoring in. How many days per week of childcare, if any, are you going to need to be planning for? Is there the ability to leverage family, grandparents? I would strongly encourage that one from a selfishly financial perspective, because it's typically a cheaper option. But understanding what's available to you and what does that look like. Then the other thing for your medium-term financial plan is, what is the schooling plan? What do you need to be putting money aside for in order to fund the schooling over time? Starting to put some money away now, so that that you don't want to have 3 kids and then go, holy crap, we wanted them to all go to private school, but now when we're doing our numbers, we didn't see it fitting. So look at how that changes over time, or how you want that to play out over time, and then you can plot it into your strategy. And that's really the next step, is laying out all of those numbers and seeing how they fit. So how does it work? We're taking the ideal amount of time out of the workforce, taking return to work plan the way that you want, care expenses and these sorts of things all factored in, and then see how it all fits together. When you do that, sometimes you need to reprioritize. In fact, I'd say a lot of times you need to prioritize. It's really hard for most people, and it's pretty uncommon that people say, I want to do X, Y, Z, and we lay it out and it all just works perfectly and they're still getting ahead with financially at the rate that they want. It's often about looking at, well, what are the most important priorities? Is it that 12 months out of the workforce, or is it returning to work at only 1 day a week for 5 years or whatever? Those things, then you figure out what's the most important things for you and your family, and you can adjust things. But the sooner you start, the easier it is. Where you don't want to end up is in you're halfway through, you've got 1 kid, another one on the way, and you realize you can't do any of the things that you wanted. So think about it ahead of time. Hope those questions helps, but if you can answer them and work it through, you're going to be on the front foot and give yourself the best chance of playing things out exactly the way that you'd like them to.